I'm Erin.
I'm Angelique, and welcome to the first episode of Spines and Secrets. And I'm very excited. Are you very excited?
I'm very excited.
This has been a long time coming, I think, and not the first time we've tried to do this, but I think it's the first time we've really committed to trying to do it.
Life, it just, you know, gets in the way
Life was
sometimes.
lifing. Life
I know.
was lifing at the time, and I also think it was like COVID.
It
I
was
think
because I
COVID
had
was
my
happening.
first.
Yeah,
I just had my first.
yeah. So, we are reading again, if you can't tell. And I just well, not just. It's been it's been like I started really reading like end of 2024, like is when I really got back into it. I think I read my first actual book since high school in like May of 2024. So,
I don't think I
that's
read a
fun.
book since like before I graduated high school. And then 2025, I was like, maybe I should pick up a book, exercise my brain a little more.
I think that a lot of people are getting back into reading like very recently. S- So, it's just a thing, I think. But I did kind of throw myself into the deep end when I started reading again, because I read 192 books last year, which is
I
an insane number.
That is a really, especially because I don't think I can even in a full year read 192 books.
It was not hard, but I was just reading a lot. Like that was basically all I was doing was reading and working and going to school. That was my life. Um, so I read fast too. And so I was like finishing a book every other day basically for most of the year, which is kind of insane. It's insane.
It's a little insane. It's a little insane.
It's a little bit. It's a little bit insane. And I have slowed down this year. I think this year I've only read like 13 books according to my Fable. So, which I think is wrong. I think I missed something, but I don't know.
I was like just trying to go back in my head. I was like, wait a second. Because I'm
Cuz
at
it took me so I read I think the number is probably correct cuz it took me a long time to read Chaotic by Chantel Tessier. Like when that came out, it took me a long like that book took me a long time to read.
but it's a thick book, isn't
So
it?
it's yeah, it's like 900 pages, I think.
Yoinks.
It's very long. It was so good, but it did take me a long time to read. I think that book took me like 20 days to read
Wow.
just because I didn't have a lot of time. Yeah, kind of insane.
And it's a thick book, and that's a part of the series that I'm not ready for,
Yes,
right?
that's 100% part of a series that you are not
Okay.
ready for at all.
I'll get
What,
there.
you will get there. I think you will get there. It really is it's not that bad. The Lord series is not that crazy, but it is a little intense for the things that you have read as of recently.
Yeah. Which so
So,
far has only been
who knows?
so.
True. So, um, I think that, um, what Was there, like, something that was like, "Okay, I wanna read again," that happened, or no?
I can't remember, like, exactly what it was, like, maybe I think it had to do a lot with, like, I was having problems falling asleep, and I didn't like just being up and being on my phone. Like, that made me feel really bad, and so I asked my sister-in-law if she had any book recommendations, and she gave me a few of them, which I read, like, Looking for Alaska, and then I read a book that my mother-in-law gave me, and then I started reading, Romantasy, and when I started reading the Romantasy, it, like, just kinda took off a little bit,
Locked you
but
in.
then when I finished yeah,
Yeah,
when I finished the end of that series, though, I went, like, a good probably 2 months without finding something that piqued my interest again, and I was, like, really
mm,
devastated about that, and then I tried another Romantasy series, which, like, at some point, I do plan on finishing, I needed a break, and I wanted to try a different genre because
yeah,
I was like,
and
"I don't know, I
I
need
feel like I've been
something."
sending book recommendations for a long time.
Yes. Yeah, you'll be like, "You need to read this," and I'm like, "Well, I don't know." Because there for, like, a really long time too,
Oh.
like, I don't know what it necessarily was, like, if it felt, I don't know, like, shameful or something to read, like, books with sex in it, that the
Yeah,
smutty stuff, and so, like, anytime someone would recommend a book with, like, a lot of intimacy, I was like, "Oh, no, no, I can't read that," and then I was like, "Bro, you're an adult. What are you doing? Like, you can read whatever the hell you want. Not like your kids can
yeah,
read yet, so it's not like they're gonna look at my book and go, 'Oh my god, mommy, what's that?' Like, get out of here." So then
yeah.
I started taking
I
you up
think
on your book recommendations.
I know, thank God, because 'cause I've gotten some good book recommendations. But
Yeah,
I think for me, I didn't have that, like, that was kind of not what happened, but I was reading Wattpad books in, like, middle school. So, like, it was not new to me, like, the smut and stuff was not necessarily
yeah.
new. Um, but I think I also took, like, a long break. So I read Gothic Hannah by Runix in, like, May of 2024, and then I think I read one other book. I can't remember what it was called, and if I'll look it up and see, but I think, that was, like, a romance. So, like, Gothic Hannah is kind of dark academia like, type romance, and then the second one I read was, like, a regular, like, kind of, like, just, like, probably not really YA romance, but kind of, like, it was more closed door. Um, it
Not
was a
pictured.
cracked door. It was the door was cracked. Wasn't necessarily open door. Yeah. And so, um, so I think I read those 2, and then I didn't really read anything, and I wanted to, like, I was wanting to read, but I just, like, wasn't really sure what to read, and then I started getting a lot of videos on TikTok about, like, books and stuff, and, like, cause the phone's always listening. And so I started getting those, and then I was, like, reading a little bit more, and then I joined a book club, which I am not in the book club anymore because it was a lot of, like, I wasn't really interested in the books they were, like, choosing to read. Um, but I read gosh, what was that book called? The Shadows Between Us, I think is what it was called, which is YA, but it was really good. I liked it a lot. It was, like, um it was really cool. But I read that, and then after I read that, I just started, like, reading a lot, and I read that was probably October-ish, November-ish of 2024, and then in December, I read 20 books in December of 2024, and so I think for my total for 2024, I read, like, 25 books total or maybe 22, and then I just didn't stop, and then 2025 happened, and I read a bajillion books constantly,
Now
that's all
you
I was
have
doing.
that gorgeous bookshelf behind you.
I know. I started collecting. I really didn't start collecting though until like probably halfway through 2025. Like these are no, I definitely started collecting before then.
I was like,
Probably
that's a lot going on in the bottom
yeah,
half of 2025.
probably like March of 2025 is when I really started like buying a lot of books. And like then
Yeah.
buying books became also a hobby. So, it's a problem.
Which, like, yeah, that ends up being like, don't look. We don't look at our orders, okay?
Yeah.
We just get excited when they come in.
Basically, yeah. And pre-orders are basically just like a present to yourself that you forget about. And
I'm starting to understand.
it's
I'm
kind of
starting to understand.
it's a fun time. It's a very fun time.
And I mean, like, these are like, if I wasn't like, if you were not the person that you are and sent me these books, it would have taken me forever to actually get around to them because
I know.
I have like a thing of like, what if I buy the book and I don't like the book? You know? And then I wasn't able to find it anywhere for free to like actually read, and I'm not an audiobook person. And then you sent them and I was like, "Well, sure, I'll read them." Okay. And now I'm just
I
like, I need I'm I'm commissioning my husband to make bookshelves because I'm like, I know I'm gonna have more now.
oh,
Like, I
yeah.
know that I'm not gonna stop.
100%. 1,000,000% you will have more. 'Cause
It's
it's amazing.
addicting.
But I think that you are a different book collector for me, which I just, like, buy books that I think I'll like, where I think that you're probably gonna be, like, more of, like, a special editions, like, fancy
Had to
covers.
love the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I think I just enjoy buying books. Like, there's books on the shelf that I have not read,
But they're pretty.
but I like them and I think I will like them. I just haven't gotten around to reading them. So my TBR is never ending though. So it's like, how do you choose?
Which one do we go with?
Which one is next? And I'm rereading with you the books that we are going to talk about. Kind of. I started this last one, but I don't know. I don't know that I'll do all of them. Like I don't know that I can reread Pen Pal. I don't know that I'll reread Birthday Girl. I did like Birthday Girl. Like it was a really good book, but I don't think I will reread that one. Like I don't think I need to.
Well, like, I I like buddy reading.
Yeah.
I do. So, like, I wanna throw in, like, books that we can read together and, like, get our raw reactions together
Yeah.
because, like and I mean, it's just gonna mean that my husband is gonna have to be okay with us being on the phone and just silently reading.
It's gonna just have to get over it, is basically what we're hearing.
Like, yeah, pretty much. But, like, I yeah.
Yeah. I am very excited. I'm also so excited that you read Lights Out.
The way that, like, because like, my aunt had recommended it to me too, and, like, the way that she was recommending it, I was like, "I don't know, auntie, like, maybe." And then you recommended it, and you explained it in a different way that actually made me go, "Hmm, okay,
Yeah.
maybe." And then I think I read it in, like, 4 days,
Oh, yeah, you read Lights Out really fast.
which is crazy, because why do I have that much time, first of all? Number 1. But number 2, like, it really did pull me in, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Alright,
It is
let's
good
see."
fun. It's good fun. I love
It is,
Josh, and I love Allie.
and it's light, and so, like, it's not the Lord series, you know? So, it
Yeah,
was
it's not the Lord
easier to kind of, like
it's not the Lord series. It's not Legacy of Gods. It's not it is 100% like, it's a dark rom-com. Like, that's what it's described as. It's an into darkness novel. That's how Navessa like, that's the,
Yeah.
the over
Which,
what's the
like,
word?
I feel like as somebody who didn't know if they were gonna like dark romance or, um, anything like that, I think that it's a very good beginner book
Yeah.
to get started with because of how light it is, but with still, like, some of those darker undertones.
Yeah. I think that, I think it is a good, like, intro. I think having it be your first romance book ever is kind of, like would be maybe a lot, but
Yeah,
you had read, like, Romantasy already, so there was already, like, a little bit of inklings in there, and so I think it's a little bit
and, like,
different.
the romantasy that I was reading, it was a little like, it had some darker undertones, some, like, darker
As Romantasy
for,
goes,
like,
yeah.
romantasy,
Yeah.
you know? And, like, I know that I get stuck in things where I'm like, "Oh, well, this is the genre that I'm reading, and so I have to keep reading that." But, like, between, like, the book recommendations that you've given me, I have read Why Choose, Reverse Harem, like, light dark,
Yeah.
and I feel and, like, maybe this is, like, kind of crazy, but I also feel like there's a lot of, like, really funny things that happen,
Yeah.
and, like, when I tell my husband about it, he's like, "That's not funny," and I'm like, "It's absolutely hilarious, like, what are you talking about?"
Yes, he tapes the guy's nose and mouth and accidentally kills him and then throws up in the woods. How is that not hilarious?
And how are you gonna say that he's, like, a bad guy?
Yeah.
Because I know, like, a lot of people have, like, problems with the fact that, he's stalking her,
Yeah.
but, like, she doesn't she doesn't, like, really care.
No. That's I think where, like, dark romances get, like, a bad rap is because they think that it's, like, this like, how do I describe like, this, like, crazy, like they only think of stalking in, like, one way, where it's, like, violent and, like, scary, and, like, in dark romance, the stalking is not sometimes it's violent, but, like, it's not scary. Like, it's not,
Yeah.
like, a scary thing, it's more like a I don't know, I think that also, like, knowing the intentions behind both characters, and, like, that's why I really like dual POV, because I think that you get a really good understanding of both of the characters' mentality and, like, where they're feeling and, like, what they're feeling, and, like, that I think is really important in dark romance.
I think so too, and, like, 'cause I'll be honest, like, if I was only reading it from one person's point of view, like, I would constantly be questioning, like, "Okay, but how is the other person feeling?"
Yeah.
Like, it's context is so important. So important. And I have
100%.
learned that when I'm trying to explain things that are going on in my book and, like, my husband is so like, "But why?
Yeah.
Why?" And it's like, "Well, you don't have the full context."
Yeah.
Like, if you would just read it, like and he's like,
Yeah.
I'm not reading that." He's a nonfiction
Loser.
yeah, he's a nonfiction guy. But, it's I'm like, "You don't have the context, so you can't, like, judge it by what I'm telling you because like, I'm just trying to give you a synopsis."
Yeah.
And, like, did some of, like, the things kind of pique my interest? Like, a
Mhm.
little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, "Huh, never thought of it that way. Interesting."
Yeah.
Like, I need to still learn how to control, like, my book face, when I'm reading,
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh my god." I'm like, "Wait, wait, 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 wait." Nobody needs to see my facial expressions.
I am so good at reading craziness in public. Because I'm like, I can be so flat-faced. I have, like, major RBF too, so, like, that helps. But, like, in when I'm home, oh, all bets are off. I'm reacting. I'm like, "What is happening? What is going on? Hold on." I talk out loud. I'm all, "Wait,
I have
this
learned
is not
that.
how"
Yeah.
like, so I think it's, like, totally different, but also, again, I was reading Wattpad books in high school, at school. Like, I was literally in my English class reading Wattpad, you know, kidnapped. My parents sold me to the mafia boss fucking, like, books. So, I think it's
You
just
know,
something that
my
you master.
my sister had tried to write on Wattpad,
Oh
and
god.
I went to go read some of them. And, like, me growing up as, like, a Baptist and, like in high school, people mistook me for a frickin' substitute teacher because of how I dressed, because I was modest. And so, like, I would try and read what my sister would write, and I'd be like, "Oh my god, where are you getting these ideas?" And then I was like, "No, no, no." And I think maybe that's why I don't like, I had such a aversion to them is because I
Yeah.
did read what my sister had wrote, and, like, she's a great writer. She's a great writer. I was just so young that, I was like, "Oh my god, if my mom knew I was
Oh, yeah.
reading this or you were writing that, like, we would be in so much trouble." And so, like, that that kinda built with me, and then you're like, "Girl, I was reading that stuff in high school, like, it's totally fine." I'm like,
Oh,
"Okay,
yeah.
well, like, I'm almost 30, I should be able to read it now, right?"
You know what?
I'm 30, like
I think that, and I don't know, maybe this is like a popular opinion, but I do think that that romance books do, like, and I think they have forever, like, even, like, back to, like, in the 90s, like, the Bodice Rippers and Fabio, like, things like that women were reading.
the
I
one
think that I think the big stigma around that is it embraces, like, women being sexual beings and, like, women's sexuality and things like that, and that's a big no-no in society, or it was. I do think it's getting better, I don't think it's where it should be, but, like, when you also grow up religious, I think that puts a lot of, pressure and, like, shame in it, where I didn't grow up religious at all. Like, I mean, my childhood was not conventional, but I didn't grow up religious, like, whatsoever, and so
yeah,
that never had the shame. I don't think I ever, like yeah, I don't think I ever really, like, felt shame for what I was reading, but when I started reading, these, like, Wattpad stuff was, like, whatever, like, it was just Wattpad and everybody was reading it and it was fan fiction and, like, I was involved in fandoms and everybody in the fandom was reading fan fiction, so it was, like, not a big deal, but, like, I
yeah,
feel like when I did start reading, like, this stuff, I was a little bit more tight-lipped about what I was reading and more, like, conscious of, like, who I was talking about what books I was reading too. Like, when I first started reading and I would talk to, like, my boss or whatever about it, which me and my boss are, like, buddies, so now I just tell her and I've recommended her books. She read Pen Pal because I recommended it to her. So,
oh my gosh.
yeah, she's read several books that I recommended to her. So, like, now I don't really care. I'm just like, "We're grown. We're grown.
Yeah,
It's book they're just books. They're just books. It's what I like." And I do think it helped me kind of process a lot of, like, trauma and things that, like, happened. And also, I think
yeah,
that it does help, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that it does help people be more comfortable, or, like, help, I think, girls specifically, maybe there's some men too, but I think it does help us become a little bit more, like, okay with our sexuality and, like, maybe kind of, like, learn things, because it is, all of the men in these books are, like, solely devoted to or at least in the ones I read, because I don't read anything with cheating or, like, anything like that, I refuse.
Yeah.
Um,
Because
but
why are we going to, like
yeah. I'm not gonna be
yeah,
reading
get
about
you.
cheating, okay? Cheating is not something you can come back from. But so, like,
Yeah.
I think that it does, really, like, I don't know, help a lot of people be
Irritated.
so, anyways, what did you think about Lights Out?
I honestly, like, full honest opinion is like, yes, I read it so, so, so fast. And like, I thought it was really cute. Like, even parts of me was kind of like, hmm, maybe, like, I think I talked to you about this, but like, I don't know if like I'm into like primal play the way that they are, but I think like
Yeah,
a good adult game of tag could be really fucking fun. Like, I don't want you to, like,
yeah,
throw me down to the riverbank or anything, but, like, be gentle with me, you know? Um,
yeah,
and, like, I it was so freaking funny, like, the whole the whole thing, like, there sorry, spoilers, not like we haven't given out a couple already, but, like,
yeah,
she's watching his TikTok, and she's sleeping with his roommate, so, like, they're
yep,
kismet kismet. That is
yeah,
what I feel about those 2, and, like, mm, the whole golden retriever side of him, but
yeah,
also, like, he knows how to be dominant,
yeah,
and just the way and, like, the dual point of view is very important because, like, yeah, he's hacking into her work cameras and watching her. That
yep,
could be considered a little bit scary that, he can hack into hospital cameras. But, like, her thoughts on, like, "God, I hope he's watching," and I think that that was super, super important, and I don't know, like I said, the way that my auntie explained it, it seemed a little bit darker than it is, but
yeah,
it's not. It was such an easy read, and there's so many different, like, components to it that I really enjoyed. Like, the cat, Fred, like,
yeah.
she's like, "He only
Fred,
likes psychopaths." He's a psychopath because he only likes psychopaths, you know? And, like, that whole thing, and
yeah,
then, like, just, like, when they decide to be boyfriend and girlfriend and how he's just so over the moon, my girlfriend," and, like, I forget it's so good, and, like,
it's so good.
there's parts in there that I'm like, "Well, I don't know, like, maybe," but,
Yeah,
like I don't know, I feel like this is the first book that I read that kinda opened my eyes to, like, there's a bigger world out there than being a vanilla wafer, you know? Like, just
you you kill me at the vanilla wafer every single time. I
look at me,
literally die.
I am vanilla in the way that I act and the way that I look, and I am fully aware of that. Like, I'm the kind of person that, going back to my roots, I'll see somebody wearing a crop top and I'm like, "Cover your midriff," and my husband has to be like, "How old are you? Who says midriff?" And I'm like, "Me, I do." And so, like, I'm
Me
very aware and, like, maybe
literally.
I don't know, I just I'm vanilla and I'm not afraid to say it, but, like, this book, I was like, "Hmm, there's still, like, safe ways to explore things," and especially when, like, I'm
Yeah.
married and I'm comfortable with him, but, like, the knife scene part,
Oh, the knife scene.
I was like,
The knife scene.
"Huh," but inside I was still like, and even outside, I was very vocal. I was like, maybe not with, like, a knife, because like, we don't want, like, a cookie cutter situation. I just but, like, the idea of what they were doing was nice.
Yeah. 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 I get
And,
that. I
like
get that. I think that is so funny because I have described that scene to people after telling them, like, Josh is such a golden retriever, like, he's, like, just he's not this, like, dark mafia, like, what you usually get in, like, a dark romance book, he's just not, and
yeah.
then I've I've told people about the knife scene or they've read the knife scene and they're like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "He literally bought her a new mattress."
Before he did it.
Like,
Like, it was already
before he even
ordered,
did it. The mattress was already on its way.
and, like, when he
Like,
breaks into
you
the
don't
house and he's
understand.
he is such a golden retriever because he's like, "Oh my god, I can
He
break into her
meal
house in
preps
under
for
10
her.
minutes."
Yeah,
Not that he's a good cook, but
yeah.
or
He
no, no, no,
meal
no.
preps for her. He
Yeah. She's is it
he
her? Is
shovels her
that her?
driveway. He drives her home from work after a long shift.
While giving her the power of being like, "Everything is in your hands. Okay, here's this
Yeah,
weapon and this weapon. You can trust me because I'm literally giving you weapons." And then
yeah,
breaking into her house and buying her a security system that is actually worth a damn. Like,
yeah.
and yeah, such a, and I think that that's why it was easier for me to accept reading it this time is because, like, you did explain it in a way of, like, it's very intro, it's very
Yeah,
rom-commy with dark undertones and very light dark undertones. And the golden
yeah,
retriever, like, the I think that the golden retriever explanation kind of was like, "Okay, so he's definitely gonna be out there
yeah,
doing what is best for her." And so, like, I think that that really helped me, and then when I started reading it, I was like, "This is crazy. This is so good. This is really, really
yeah.
good."
So good.
And it just I want
It's so
other
good.
people to read them, but really my book community is you, so you've already read it.
My my book community is also basically you and TikTok. So, I
Which, like,
occasionally engage in book things on TikTok, and
you've built my For You page.
everybody that I engage with on Book Talk has already read Lights Out. Like,
Yeah,
we've
and so I
talked
just,
about
like
it, it's already been read.
but it's still, like, such a thing, especially with the show coming
It's
out. Like,
yeah,
I feel honestly, like, this sounds kind of crazy, but, like, I feel lucky to have just recently read it while a show is being made because it's gonna be so fresh, and it's
yeah,
gonna like, I think that that's gonna help. It might also, like, hinder how I view the show, though. That's, like, the con to it. Is, like,
yeah.
it's so fresh in my mind,
I
I'm gonna
just
be like, "Well,
hope
that's not right."
Yeah. I just hope that Navessa stays really involved. I think she's going to, like, based on, like, what she's been posting, like, on Instagram and stuff. I think she is pretty involved and, like, pretty
Yeah.
in tune with her screenwriter and everything like that. So I think she'll be involved and definitely, like, it will stay true to, like, what the books are. I also think that book adaptations are getting so much better. Like, Heated Rivalry is one of the best book adaptation TV shows I have ever seen in my entire life, and the Jacob Tierney did such a good job on that show, and it's only 6 episodes. like, he's shoved so much stuff in 6 episodes, and I just, like, I think he set a standard for book adaptations that's going to change how we do things going forward. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm very excited. I am excited but worried about who they cast as Josh. And, like, the casting is, like, I think the part that I'm, like, worried about, but I don't have that thing where you can, like, picture people in your head. So, I think that once I see who they cast, it's either gonna be a, "Okay, that's Josh," or it's gonna be like, I don't think that's Josh." But I
I
think
think
it's
the
more likely
biggest
it's gonna be like a, "That's Josh."
I think the biggest thing is going to be, like, matching his energy. Josh has such an energy about him in these books that that's what's I feel is going to make or break Josh as a character is
Yeah,
can the actor really take on Josh's personality, but also, like, I know that a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, he has to be exactly like this height." On camera, like, when you're watching something, you don't know that person's height. Like, I've seen so many comments being like, "Well, they better get his height right, and they better get this right," and it's like, but that's not like, yes, that's a huge part about who Josh is, but I think I'm more worried about, is he going to capture that golden retriever, just his whole energy? I think that's what I'm
yeah,
most worried about, is he going to be able to be what Navessa Allen created? And that's,
yeah.
like, I'm
I
really hoping that she's in it.
I think that the height thing for me only matters in relation to the height of each of the characters, and I think the height thing is really gonna play a big part of Game On, like, not to jump a little bit ahead, like, it hasn't come out yet, but Game On, the, FMC in that book is a tall girl. Like, she mentions how tall Tyler is and how it's, like, nice as a tall girl, and I think that is more important than making sure Josh is exactly, like, 6'7" or whatever. I can't remember exactly what
Mhm.
his height
Do
is in
you
the
think
book, but,
I
like,
should apply?
I
I'm a tall girl.
to be what I think what's her name? Stacy?
I think so, yeah.
In Game On, I think is the FMC, but so I think that, like, that matters more. I'm really excited to see the balaclava scene where she's like, "Your stupid baklava is
Yes!
covering your eyes." And he's all, "It's a balaclava." And she's all, "What?" And he said, "One's a delicious dessert."
I think that
I'm
yeah.
very excited for that scene. I think that's gonna be really fun. I think the whole girlfriend boyfriend scene is gonna be really fun. Um, I don't know, I'm really excited. I'm also super excited to see how they do Caught Up and Junior or Nico.
Yes.
Because Caught Up, as I described to you, is not Lights Out. Like, and I think that was a big kind of point of contention when the book came out, is everybody was expecting kind of Lights Out part
Part
2,
2.
essentially. Um, and they expected Nico to be Josh 2.0, which is just crazy because it's literally a mafia book. Josh is not
Yeah.
in the mafia. Like, Josh and Allie are normal, not normal, but, like, they're, like, everyday people. Like, Josh, yes, has his, like, little security, like, hacking thing, but he's, like, a normal person, and Allie's a nurse. Like,
Yeah.
they're regular people in regular life, where Nico and Lauren are in the mob. Their families are part of the mafia. Like, it's a different world, and so to expect Nico to be Josh is just kind of insane.
And,
It's kind
like,
of insane, and to expect Lauren to be Allie is insane.
I I honestly and, like, this might sound a little bit crazy, maybe not. I love Josh and Allie. Cute, adorable, love them. I loved with a capital L, Lauren and Nico. I
I am so happy to hear you say that.
it honestly, like, number 1, it's like they both experienced things that pulled them apart, but, like, he just was never ready to fully give up on her, and then,
Yeah,
he's like, "I want out of this, I wanna have a normal life, and I want to" he wants to have a family, which is ironic that, family is what his dad is always preaching about, but yet he doesn't let his son to have a life and a family,
yeah.
and very, like, Romeo, Juliet, like, parents hate each other, so kids have to hate each other kind of scenario. But, like,
Yeah,
his dominance was very, very fun to read. Um, and, like, this book especially, I think that, like, this is a good series to get started because it's light and then it goes a
yeah.
little bit darker, and I don't know how, like, Game On is like, how much of a step up or down that's gonna be, which, in my opinion, I think it's gonna be a little bit darker than Game On or Caught Up, but,
I think
um
I think Game On is gonna be a little darker just because, like, Nico is trying to get out, and for all intents and purposes, like, Tyler is getting in
yeah.
to, like,
He's
the
like, "This is what I
underground
want."
world, like, he's a bookie.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
I'm kind of really I'm excited about that.
I am too, but, like, Caught Up and, like, going back to, like, the conversation about, like, reading kinda helps you, like, become okay with, like, who you are in a lot of ways. This was a very informational book for me. It highlighted kink play in such
Interesting.
a way that was it was definitely showing, like, how much kink play does not have to be scary. It does not have to be,
Yeah,
like, a big to-do, and that a lot of people have kinks that, like, you wouldn't even know about, you know?
yeah,
And it highlighted kink play in such a way that I was like, I've always expected kink play to be scary and that, like, your partner
yeah,
like, you're giving your partner full on consent to hurt you, whereas, like, Caught Up explains it as, like, kind of like how you did, where the sub always has the, um, kink play. Do you hear my son trying to get in?
it's
Uh,
fine.
you know, it's telling me I'm unable to
Yeah,
connect to the studio again. It says it's still recording. Is it still recording?
yeah, it is. Mhm.
Okay, because it's telling me that I'm unable. Um, but, like, yeah, it definitely just was, like, a different eye opener, and, like, even with the dark undertones, you could still sense the emotion between the 2, and I really enjoyed that
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah. I was a little bit worried about this one. Not worried, but I'm not super big into, like, second chance romances, and this
Mhm.
is a second chance romance, essentially. I mean, that they weren't, like, super together in high school, but I would call it a second chance romance, and so I was a little bit worried about what that was going to look like, and what the thing was that kind of separated them, and so but I loved it so much. I loved it so much, and I loved Lauren and her roommates, honestly. I loved her.
Yes. The whole
Um, but yeah, so I was a little bit worried with it being a second chance romance, but Lauren is so badass and I legitimately love her.
I I loved her for so many reasons, just, like, also her activism.
Yeah, she's fucking
I
badass.
loved I loved it so much because, like, it does like, the whole like, what I got from the book is, like, it is a lot of, um like, maybe I don't know. I feel like it was super educational, that there are play clubs, there are, you know, a laundry list of kinks and that they don't have to be scary, they don't have to be painful because you're not giving your partner permission to hurt you without you being like, "Okay, maybe that's too much." And that's how I've always
Yeah,
viewed, like, kink play and stuff, and then just, like, her whole activism around making it safe to do so, and
yeah,
having a safe place for people to learn and explore, and just the whole thing, and then, like, Miko being like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then
yeah,
enjoying it himself.
yeah,
Oh my god, that was like I was like, "He is not gonna be comfortable with this at all," and then he was like, "Why am I turned on
yeah.
right now?" And I'm like, "Kink unlocked,
Yeah.
sir."
Yeah, one of my favorite micro tropes is when the guy is, like, the less experienced one, because in so many books, and especially in dark romance, it's always, like, a virgin FMC, um, like, not always, but that's, like, a very big, like, thing, and so I love when the guy is, like, the mo the less experienced one, and I don't know, it just I think it
Yeah.
changes the dynamic a little bit.
I think so too, because it's like it's kind of giving women some power back.
Yeah,
Does that make sense? Okay, yeah. So,
yeah,
like and it's I don't know, it's kind of fun to teach.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
like, I
and
totally agree with you, like, having a less experienced male and being able to teach them. It's like that line that, like, all books have not all books, that's a dramatic statement, but, like, "I'm gonna ruin you for every man after me."
yeah,
That's how I feel like having an inexperienced male versus a female, like, that's their version of, like, "I'm teaching you what I like. I'm teaching
yeah,
you, like, how to please me, so, like, I'm ruining you for every female after me." I feel like that's a
yeah,
I don't know, does that seem like a pretty equal equivalent,
yeah, I
kind
think
of?
so.
Or
Yeah.
explanation, I guess?
No, I think that's a very, like, equal. I think that's very equal. And
Yeah,
I think that
and,
that
like
brings us in a really good segue and, like, the perfect spot to talk about the book we're gonna talk about next, which is Pucking Wild by Emily Rath. Because in that one,
so
she is
good.
also the more experienced one, and, yeah, I think it's that one's gonna be good.
Ugh,
It's gonna be good. It
I
is good.
have so many highlights that I wanna talk about.
So,
Like that.
you will have to tune in to the next episode to hear about Pucking Wild, um, and all things Tess and Ryan, and all things Emily Verse. I'm so excited. It's one of my favorite series, and Pucking Wild is one of my favorites. Well, there's only 4 books. Well, if you don't count the novellas, but they're all pretty, like, neck and neck, I think, with each other. So I'm very excited.
I agree. I
Well,
agree.
we will see you next time. Make sure you check out the links in our bio, join our Fable. We have a book club on Fable. So make sure to check that out so you can see what we're reading, maybe participate in the conversation a little bit. I need to be better about posting in there while we're reading the books, which I'm gonna try better for
Same.
this next book we're gonna get ready to read, um, to post about it while I'm reading. So get ready. And we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.